What is up, everybody? In today's video, we're talking about a big severe weather event that's heading into a lot of the U.S. this weekend, plus a huge storm that is coming. Let's get right into this video. We are getting in a really active pattern here as a lot of storms are hitting, and the first storm that we're going to see is going to be around the Thursday time thing, where we're going to see some showers across the central U.S. and some rain in the southern U.S. across Texas, but this is not going to be much of the big story that we're going to see. This is not going to produce very much severe weather, if any, on Thursday to Saturday across these areas. The big picture will be on Sunday. We also do have a little bit of rain that is going to occur across portions of the western U.S. that's going to cause a little bit of rain and snow. But the big picture that we're talking about is once we get to Sunday here, as if you see this big storm that's going to form and it's going to cause a severe weather event for these areas that I just circled. We could even potentially see some snow potentially in the afternoon into even Sunday. On Saturday afternoon all the way to even Sunday morning across portions of the northern U.S. that could dump some snow. But once we get close to this, we'll get more details on how much snow this is going to bring and more mountain snow on Sunday to parts of the mountains here. But the big picture is the severe weather event. As if we look at the dew points here, we're going to see some very, very moist air, like a really big moist layer across this entire area of the U.S., which is 60-degree dew points all the way from the southern U.S. all the way up to the central U.S., potentially even reaching parts of the Midwest into northern Illinois and northern Indiana and even Ohio in some spots due to this rich moisture coming from the Gulf that is going to come in and support this severe weather event. And this is why the National Weather Service has issued a Day 6 slight risk of severe weather for portions of the central and eastern U.S. This includes Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, into Arkansas. This is a huge slight risk of severe weather, including just tons of states here. We will get more information on what this is going to bring once we get a lot closer to this, like the potential hazards, but I do think we could potentially see tornadoes, wind, and even hail from this. This could be an all-hazards event in some spots here, but we'll get closer for the details on how significant it's going to be and where the bullseye of it is going to be in this huge severe weather area. And then once we get to Day 7 here on Monday, that was Sunday's outlook, by the way. Once we get to Monday, this severe weather threat is going to shift a little bit further to the east and a little bit further to the southeast, across portions of Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia, across the coast of the Carolinas and those areas right here that we could see another severe weather threat. I do not think this is going to be as significant as Sunday was, but this still could end up being a significant severe weather event that you guys all need to keep an eye on, as this is going to be a big-time severe weather threat coming this weekend. Now, the reason for the severe weather event is not just the moisture. We're going to have tons, and I mean tons, of instability across a lot of the southern, central, and eastern U.S. that is going to bring this potential significant severe weather event to come into fruition, man. We have so much instability and energy to produce thunderstorms that I do think this could be a big-time severe weather event. This isn't going to be nothing like what we saw on March 14th to 15th, but this still could be a high-impact, significant severe weather event that does need to be watched very closely. Now, I also want to mention this extremely rare slight risk of severe weather in Washington and Oregon. What? Yeah, we're going to see a slight risk of severe weather for portions of the Seattle and Oregon areas close to the coast of Washington and Oregon, but not on the coast. And this is going to cause the potential for hail. Yeah, a really rare, never issued before. Significant risk for hail across portions of Oregon and Washington on Wednesday, tomorrow, across portions of this area in the northwestern U.S., which is extremely rare. Even though it's not a huge severe weather threat, this is pretty big for portions of the western U.S. and typically doesn't happen very often. So expect the risk for 2+ inch in diameter hail across these areas that is potentially going to be expected with this. Now, the tornado and wind threat is not very high. We do have an isolated tornado threat, but the main threat is going to be hail with this potential hail event in the northwest, which is crazy. Alright, I hope everybody did enjoy this video. I'll make more updates in the next few days or so once we get closer to this severe weather event, as this is going to be another big-time severe weather event coming up, so you guys need to be planned and be prepared. Do not be scared, but be prepared from this severe weather coming up. Hope you guys do have a great day. Make sure to like and subscribe for more updates, and bye, everybody.